Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you're having a good one. What's good, what's good, what's good? It has been a day. It has been a little bit of a day. I was running a little bit late, so I'm still doing a couple of things, but you know how it is. It happens. It definitely happens. Tonight's question: who just got blocklisted from selling $104 million worth of a new coin? Charles Hoskinson. I know I have a typo in there, but if I remove it now, I got to start all over. I'm not going to do that. You know what it is. Charles Hoskinson, Brian Armstrong, Jed McCaleb, or other. And if it's other, drop it in the comments. I want to know what your thoughts are. I absolutely want to know what your thoughts are. So a lot has happened today. Indeed. Like, not small stuff. A lot of big stuff. A lot of big stuff. So almost unrelated, but related. The new regime wants to fire somebody from the FTC. And it's unrelated, but related because if you pay attention to everything that's going on, it's a big power grab. It's the reshaping of the government in a massive fashion. And you need to pay attention to what does the FTC control? And then you have to stop and think about what industry it affects. And then just follow the money. That's all you got to do. So it's indirect, but still can affect your bags. So what do? The GMB3, right? Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. That's the GMB3. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's going on that we should be paying attention to. And sadly, most people are not paying attention to that. Yeah, I'm just looking at the screen to make sure that I've shut off everything that I don't need to have running at the moment. I was supposed to receive a new box today and I didn't get it. And I'm afraid that I won't get it. So it's a pain in the tail. So again, tonight's question, and it's a very big question. It's a very big question. Who just got blocklisted from selling $104 million worth of a new coin? Charles Hoskinson, Brian Armstrong, Jed McCaleb, or other? Now, you might want to ask yourself, well, who the hell are these people? So let me give you a hint. Jed McCaleb is the founder of XLM, Stellar. Remember, he used to be with Ripple. And then, then he was not. Then you have Brian Armstrong. You know who he is. Yo, my man Rick Ritchie into his house. Thank you for letting me know that you've invested in yourself. And I acknowledge that you have put your answer down as other. Got it. So then you have Charles Hoskinson, Brian Armstrong of Coinbase fame, and Charles Hoskinson of Cardano fame. But remember, these figures have been around for a while. So again, tonight's question: who just got blocklisted from selling $104 million worth of a new coin? Charles Hoskinson, Brian Armstrong, Jed McCaleb, or other. If it's other, drop it in the comments. It's going to be an interesting conversation. Very interesting conversation. So James Seifert describes the current crypto bull run as a digital asset treasury revolution driven by digital asset treasury companies, DATCos, right? And offering leveraged exposure through traditional equity markets, with the SEC's new ETF framework allowing immediate approval for 10 assets and favoring diversified products over individual ETFs. We'll see what happens. Paula, thank you for letting me know you invested in yourself. And Lex Luthor has also said he's just dittoing Rick Ritchie. Lazy. I expect more, sir. I expect more. So then that's kind of a big deal. And yeah, he kind of nailed it. James Seifert kind of nailed it. Something else that I noticed, the European Central Bank is advancing the digital euro project, and it's meant to enhance financial resilience and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. It's a freaking CBDC, and it's meant to track every penny that everybody uses of the euro. Okay? And if you're in the United States and you're using the US dollar, did you know that it went from $10,000 to $5,000 to $1,000 to now $200? If you withdraw or deposit $200, you can actually find yourself on a watch list in the United States. So it's that bad to touch US money? I knew that there was going to be a big push toward, digital, right? And that says that there's a huge push towards digital, even though it's not going to be CBDC, it's going to be stable coins. And those stable coins are going to be treated like CBDCs. That's the idea. Oh, we're not going to allow CBDCs, but you're going to use stable coins in the same fashion that you were going to use CBDCs. So who are you lying to? I can't pull out $200 in cash without somebody looking over my shoulder. Imagine what happens with stable coins, US stable coins. Imagine what happens then. Not only will I know that you've used a certain amount of money, but I'll know the specific money that you used. I'll know the specific money that's sitting in your wallet. Yeah. It's that big of a deal. Marcus Moore, thank you for letting me know that you have invested in yourself by tuning in, and also invested deliberately today. Thank you very much. What's good, what's good, what's good. So I'm already feeling like the United States is a police state. $200 in cash. Pulling out $200 in cash, not to say that it absolutely will, but it could land you on a watch list. And I bet you most people don't know that. I happened to be on LinkedIn and saw a CPA actually have a video about it. And then my jaw dropped. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. So common everyday business. You want to know who that hurts? Again, who does it hurt? It doesn't hurt anybody up here. They don't deal in cash. Everybody up here deals in credit. They walk into a store, they whip out a black card if they have to. They might already have an account at the store. They're not worried about it. They walk in, get what they need, and walk out. It hurts all the small people. Want to know who else it hurts? It hurts the backbone of the United States. The small business. That's the backbone of the United States. My little bodega on the corner, bacon, egg, and cheese, salt, pepper, no ketchup on a roll, Bustelo coffee in the cup, a little bit light, a little bit sweet. That's the perfect pick-me-up when you got to hop on that 2 train from Allerton Avenue, go on down to the city, go earn that money. Yeah. So imagine that store is dealing in nothing but cash. When they go to the bank, they've got a stack of cash that they're depositing. Are you saying you're going to take away paper money? Oh, you just want to know where all the paper money is. Which is why you want to back CBDCs and why you want CBDCs to be holding bonds, holding treasuries, right? It's It's interesting. So you have CBDCs in Europe. You've got stable coins in the United States are going to be treated like CBDCs. How long do you think that's going to last? How long do you think that's going to last? Let that wash over you for a minute. People aren't going to want to be here. People aren't going to want to spend their money. They'll start moving their money into things that the government won't track. I mean, that's the last pin in a surveillance state, right? We've got cameras all over the place. We've got drones that can identify you not by your face, but by your body style. So they catch me walking out of Dairy Queen, and you're not supposed to do that. How much money did you spend? I think traditional finance is going to change in a major fashion. The same way the government's changing, I think that vehicles on how you spend your assets is going to change. It'll have to. It's a new world. It'll have to change. They have been decreasing the paper money supply already. Yep, for a long time. For a long time. They want to watch where the money is going. Walk into a bank and ask for cash. They'll look at you cross-eyed, and they'll have to report it. That's nuts. Does that mean I walk over to an ATM and I pull out $500 to pay the lawn guy or whoever? I wind up on a list? What? 99% of the country will wind up on a list? Aren't we all already on a list? What else is up their sleeves? Just wondering. Just wondering. Stripe and Paradigm launched Tempo, a layer 1 blockchain supposedly supporting 100,000 transactions per second with sub-second finality. It's got EVM compatibility and stablecoin neutral payments. I'm dying to find out if the 100 TPS is actually true. Transactions per second TPS. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. It's going to be more interesting to see how it's used. They're not the only ones. Next and Tron have a similar kind of deal going on. Things are becoming very interesting. If you notice the deals that are going on right now, remember I told you that there's going to be a great consolidation / culling, and you're starting to see these deals between projects. When I hear about a deal between projects, hey Paula, thank you for letting me know it's other. When I hear about a deal, the first thing I think is that right there is a possible consolidation. Every time I turn around. So near getting into bed with Tron's in the top 10. Whether we want to believe it or not, it's in the top 10. It's number 9. 9 or 8, I forget which one. And so you look at that and you kind of go, huh. So I'm just looking at all the deals that are going on right now. I'm just looking at all those deals. Who's getting into bed with who, what kind of services they're providing, what's the overlap, what are the differences, what are the use cases. To me, those are toe in the water deals. If we have to consolidate, I could buy you. That's the way I see it. That's the way I see it. Citron in bed with Near. Year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Would it really be 5 years? Would it really be that long? I don't think so. But imagine. You know what's funny? I was just outside I want to say an hour ago, and I was like, oh, let me water these plants. What is it doing now? Yeah, yeah. I'll probably wake up tomorrow to huge bushes out front, which is great. But still, imagine. Imagine Tron and Nier. Imagine Stripe and Paradigm. There were a couple of other deals that happened that I was looking at. That would be very interesting to me. Now, something else that caught my attention. The Federal Reserve faces pressure from Donald Trump, who demands a 350 basis point rate cut. The markets expect a 25 basis point rate cut. Reduction, if you want to use a big word. But the economic numbers don't support it. The numbers do not support it. We got numbers today, and they were like, yeah, no. So a 25 basis point reduction shuts everybody up and kind of says there's no reason to have another rate cut. You're probably going to have to start moving in the other direction, or at least keep them where they are for right now. But 350 basis point cut? What? Where are the numbers that support that? Where are the economics that support that? Best question. Who is that supposed to help? You ever think about that? Again, it's another one of those follow the money. See, Lex Luthor is in the corner now because I did do my own research. I knew it was going to rain. But I didn't realize it was supposed to rain like rain. I knew it was supposed to rain, but not it's supposed to. So I didn't do enough research. So you're almost right. But because you called me out, your little behind goes in the corner. Smart Alec. That was a good one, though. That was a good one. Can't really be mad. GMB, grow your bushes. You're in the corner for like the next week. Because that's funny. Oh, man. That's just evil. That's all kinds of evil. But you know what? My bushes will grow, and I will get more basil. I will get more dill. I will get more tomatoes, and I will get more pepper. So I'm not mad. You're still in the corner. Where's Hutanic when you need him? Paula's in the corner with you. Paula's in the corner with you. There you go. You're both hanging out in the corner. I'm going to put Hutanic in the corner. As soon as he shows up, I'm just going to tell him you're in the corner. Because I know what you would have said. See, there he is. I know what you would have said. You're in the corner, too. Just go on. 100 basis points by year end because I invested in myself. Yeah, no, it's not going to be 100 basis points. It'll be 25 basis points. And I think you're going to start to hear people clamoring. All right, so you had the oil and gas industry lay off about 4,000 people today. What company was it? I forgot the name of the company that laid off those 4,000 people. I got you, A pause. Thank you for letting me know you invested in yourself. So you've got 4,000 people there. You've got 20, 30,000 people in Georgia that just lost their job because all the movies are going overseas. You've got a whole lot of jobs that are falling off that weren't really expected because they're just not making enough money. They're just not making enough money. You know what's going to crack me up? What cracks me up is there are creators out there that are doing shows just like mine. There are creators out there that are shooting real TV shows and dropping them on YouTube and demonstrating that they can make money without the big studios. You have technology right now that can do an even better job at doing special effects. I know because when I was a kid, when I was younger, I used to play around with computer animation and special effects. I told you guys that the other night. It's ridiculously cheaper now to do that. So when I look at these things, I kind of sit back and I go, the studios are hurting and they need to find money. They need to find a way to make money in big ways. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to affect the movie industry, movies, movie, TV industry. It's going to affect music. It's already affecting music. There are people out there. Let me rephrase. There are entities out there making music that's done by AI. Yeah. Fake groups that are doing music, and it's not. It's all AI. The world is changing. I don't know what that last sentence means, Titanic. You're gonna have to rewrite that. I don't get that. Rectember. Yep. Sounds about right. Has a nice ring to it. Rectember. Yep. Well, if you're part of this community, I hope you're not getting wrecked because you're kind of in the know, right? We know what's going on. We know what's going on. Because we've been doing our own research. We know our entries and exits, and we absolutely invest deliberately. We're not jumping just because the market went up or went down. We're maneuvering. We're moving our chess pieces because we know what's going on. Next year will be like 1980, 20% interest. France is wrecked. England's close to being wrecked. The United States has the highest actual debt in the world. China's wrecked. Russia's wrecked. A lot of countries, big countries in the world, are already wrecked. If there was ever a time for one of those start buttons, maybe restart, it's now, right? Because where did it get us? Where did teaching our children more, and not figure out what your enough is? Figure out what your enough is. Because when you figure out your enough, you're figuring out what makes you happy. You need no more, no less. That's what makes you happy. The truth is, most people don't want a Bugatti. They don't want a Patek Philippe. They don't need huge, big ice around their neck. McMansions. Nice house. Car. Able to get to the grocery store. They don't need a lot. They really don't need a lot. Watch my kids grow up, have babies, play with my grandkids. We don't need a lot. Truthfully, when you figure out what your enough is, the kind of life you want to lead, you've defined your happiness. It's not to say that you might not make adjustments to your happiness and want to move on, but you've defined your happiness. Interesting, no? Very much interesting. So when I come downstairs and I sit in my office and I do all this research and I come back to you guys and I say, yeah, we're going to have to do more research. Want to know why? I don't know if you guys have heard this. CoinMarketCap has introduced Boost. So if you've got a coin, we have GMB TV. So we have a coin. Great. I can go to Coin Market Cap and boost it for 12 to 24 hours. How fair is that? That to me is just a more expensive bot, right? It's just their bot instead of independent bots going like this. They're not trading, but they'll boost your coin. And they're getting pushback over it. They're getting massive pushback over it. So do you know what kind of research we'll have to do now to figure out what coin is that? What's their use case? Excuse me. What are the numbers? What's their real popularity? What's the real community behind that coin? We're going to have to do a lot more research. And I hope it doesn't spread to any of the other services, right? True rankings. I mean, their rankings are basically, okay, it's the market cap. It's what can you prove to the world for sure that that's the number of coins you have. But that's a big deal. That's no joke. It's absolutely no joke. And I know I was giggling a little bit over what Hutanik said, but next year will be like the 1980s, 20% interest. Do you know how real that could be? It's happened before. It can happen again. Poor management. Poor management. Greed and ego. The one common thread through all the movies, all the documentaries that we talk about here, greed and ego are what wrecks our economy every single time. And remember, greed is not always about money. It's mostly about power. Ego. Ego is ego. But every single time. Go back, watch that show. And if you wanted to watch it in order, go watch Titans, The Rise of Wall Street. Go watch that first. Right? Because it'll give you two instances where you can see greed and ego shaping the United States economy. It's massive. You'll get so much out of that. It is history rich. You'll get a lot out of that. Then watch Too Big to Fail. Now, mind you, there were a lot of incidents between what happened between Titans and what happened between Too Big to Fail. There were a lot of stuff that happened, right? You'll watch Too Big to Fail. And you'll watch The Big Short. And you'll start to go, oh my freaking God. Greed and ego. Greed and ego. And because the greed and ego exists up here, we have no control. And it just hammers everybody down here. And I know some people talk about the Wolf of Wall Street, but that's just telling the story of one greedy guy. One greedy prick. Nobody cares about that. We want to know what actually happened and how things affected, how others affected others. That's why I'm telling you about those shows specifically, those documentaries specifically. Lex Luthor, to your first point, yes. Hutanik, Global Reset, yes. Rain barrels and solar, just as important as an example. Yes. Absolutely yes. China said it out loud. The world can either accept China's expansion and New World Order or go to war. They are fine with both. Nobody wants war. Nobody wins. Nobody would win. nobody would win, which would mean everybody would lose. Greed and ego. Greed and ego. None of the countries on this planet are perfect. Just saying. So Bush shows a while back made me realize I need to be a have, not a have not. Yep. But your definition of have and have not. What's your enough? You need to have enough to not be affected by the moose dung that these people are slinging. Yeah. The more war, the more the system is unwinding. We're already at war, if you think about it. Digital war. Look at North Korea. Russia's already proving that they really can't win a war without dropping a nuke. If Russia could, they would drop a nuke and call it a day, but that would defeat the purpose of invading Ukraine, right? They want to take over the land and the people. And if you drop a nuke, you're not going to be able to take over the land. You won't be able to take over the people. Defeats the purpose. But a conventional war, they can't win. They're importing troops. Can't win against this tiny little country. Wow. So they have a problem. And it's causing a massive economic problem for them. We all knew it was going to cause an economic problem for Ukraine, but it's causing a massive economic problem for Russia. And he's still running around acting like, I'm untouchable, blah, blah, blah. And I'm wondering how long it's going to be before those oligarchs in Russia say, we're done with you. Because the war in Ukraine is to take people's minds off of being broke. The country being broke and only a few people in the country having money. Does that sound familiar? The whole country being broke and everybody else, the 1% having money. Sounds familiar to me. Information technology, social engineering, the people of other countries, drugs being used as weapons, etc., etc. Kinetic is the last type of tool in modern times. I don't think anybody wants to do it, though. I don't think anybody wants to do it. I think what it comes down to is everybody's kind of tired of the United States, running around flexing on people. India's tired of it. China's tired of it. We could have worked with China a long time ago. A long time ago. We used to have one of the best educational systems in the world. We're not even in the top 20 right now. But I think we're like 23rd to 24th. 20. Stop and think about that. Our educational system is ranked in the 20s. Okay? That's a lot of countries to come before us in education. That's a lot of countries. Now you know why I'm so big on making these videos. I've got to have a way for my kids to learn without feeling like I'm pushing it on them or anything else like that, but they still have access to the knowledge. That's the idea. Indeed, Lex, those are two different kinds of shoes. Nobody wants it. Which would mean it's going to be conventional but unconventional war, right? Drones and missiles and blah, 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 frickin' blah. And ultimately, you've got to stop and think about it. Who here wants that? Do you really want to see the United States and China go to war? You don't want that. Global economy is already screwed. Their economy is kind of hosed. Our economy is kind of hosed. What they really need to do is everybody needs to sit down and kind of go, we're all kind of hosed. Let's figure out how we're going to get rid of how we're hosed and start over again. None of us are the best, so let's stop saying that we're going to be the best. Because the common sense answer is you don't want to rely on us for the reserve. We don't want to rely on you for the reserve. Let's just turn to crypto and call it a day. And then you start to realize why all the institutions are buying Bitcoin and Ethereum, by the way. And you realize, holy moly, this is why I need to learn about this stuff. Ta-da! I know. When you bring it all together like that, you're kind of like, damn, yeah, that we don't really have a choice. We don't really have a choice. Do it or not do it. Know what I mean? Do it or not do it. But don't do it, and you're going to be worse off than you think. Turtle Bitcoin, what's good? And you start to realize, yeah, and it doesn't take a lot for me to start preparing now. I was looking at doomsday preppers, and I was like, yeah, I don't think that's the doomsday we have to prepare for. That's the doomsday we have to prepare for. Knowing how to do things with your hands is what we have to prepare for. Number one, jobs that aren't going to get touched. Clergy people, medical care people, tradespeople, plumbers, HVAC, electricians, carpenters, people that can do stuff with their hands. Yeah. People that know how to do stuff with their hands. You know, most kids don't know how to do stuff with their hands. I mean, heck, ask one of these kids that's driving a car if they know how to change a tire. They will look at you cross-eyed and be like, change what? Yeah, they don't know how to change a tire. Where to put the jack so the car doesn't fall on them. Loosen the nuts before you raise it. Yeah, they don't know that. They haven't a clue. Teach them. It's going to be important. It's going to be important. So we've got CoinMarketCap with Boost. We've got Fireblocks launching a stablecoin payment protocol to facilitate cross-border institutional transactions. Sounds like all of these other projects that are going on right now. That seems to be like the most popular topic is maneuvering stablecoins cross-border. Interoperability is what we're talking about. Woo! Interesting. There are a lot of projects like that. And then I was reading another report. Analyst Rekt Capital, R-E-K-T, Rekt Capital, warns Bitcoin's current bull market may end by October. So I'll be paying close attention like now. Like right now, I'll be paying close attention. I'm at profit right now, but I know it's also going to go up. But I'll be looking at the end of September, and I'll already be shaving right there. I'll already be maneuvering things to get the heck out. I'll already be maneuvering things to get the heck out. That's going to be the big deal. And I'll just be sitting there waiting. Problem is, we don't know how long it's going to be before it goes back up again. Is it a year? Is it 2 years? Is it 3 years? Is it 6 months? We don't know yet. Kind of have to wait and see. Bitcoin kind of already does that. Bitcoin doesn't already do that. There are a lot of different coins that actually have real deal interoperability. Like you could move Bitcoin on Cardano without flipping it, without wrapping it. It'll just move. That's interoperability. True interoperability. Just saying. We trade our oil with Venezuela. Now we be like, we will just take it, hugs and kisses. That's funny. We need to understand how value works. We need to really get an idea about how value works and how that affects our bags. Once you understand that, you'll better be able to make money going up, make money coming down. Find the things that people need. Make money. Sit on it. Sit on it. Eventually things will come back. We just don't know when. Because the world's on the wrong course right now. Imagine France. France might need to take a loan from the IMF, International Monetary Fund. Sorry. Imagine. Bank of England, they're like, yeah, these rates are going to stay high for a while. We're not quite sure what to do, but that's definitely what we're going to do. It did make an alt early so we could end up being over early. I told you, things were, as soon as we hit an all-time high, what was it, November, December time frame? I think it was December. Yeah. Cycle broken. Because that was early. That was the hint. That was the hint. Do no, please. No need for interoperability for BTC. Just work on it. Improve. Third and fourth layer. Screw the third and fourth layer. What I need them for. Just saying. 90 days of US dollars here real soon. Then 60 days. Then a week. Then a day. The inflation will be off the charts when they print. That's cute. You're assuming that they'll be able to. Ever think about that one? Kramer, investment firms, etc. They spread FUD more often than they go to the bathroom. That's why I don't listen to them. This is why, as a community, we don't listen to them. We do our own research. We know our entries and exits, and we absolutely invest deliberately. You can't listen to them. How many times has Jim Cramer flip-flopped? Jim the flip-flop Cramer. Are you serious? Yeah, no, you can't listen to that. I could never. Stick to stocks, bro. Stick to stocks. Shut your mouth when it comes to crypto. He doesn't care. He's got money. He's loaded. He's not worried about it. Just saying. And you'd be surprised at how many people you think have money that don't. They're living paycheck to paycheck because they're waiting for their bonus. And sometimes that bonus doesn't come. Oops. So when I look at what we should be paying attention to, I'm looking at these kinds of things. I'm just following the money. That's all I'm doing is following the money. So let's get to tonight's question. Who just got blocklisted from selling $104 million worth of a new coin? It's freaking Justin Sun. Want to know what the new coin is? World Liberty Financial, WLFI. I told you guys a long time ago, I will never touch anything that guy touches. Never. He should most likely be in jail, but he's not. He spent $75 million invested in one of Trump's coins the first time, and now he bought $104 million worth of WLFI. The only people making money off of World Liberty Financial's coin are the people that were involved. And the people that were lucky enough to find out about it early, those are the only people that are in the red. I mean, in the black. Everybody else in the red. But yeah, I will not touch anything that Justin Sun has to touch. So when I hear about Near getting into bed with Tron, well, that's Justin Sun. Sucks to be Near because I won't touch that either. Bad career decision. Bad bedfellows. Nope. Not having anything to do with you. Good luck with that. Nope. Not at all. Not at all. But yeah, we should be paying attention to what's going on out there, because when you think about all the moves that have been made for very few people to make maximum money, you got to scratch your head. The idea is for us to, it's for us to actually understand what's going on at the moment. Do our own research, connect the dots. That's literally what it's all about. That's literally what it's all about. I told you, I know a guy, he came and installed, he was the electrician that did all my solar panels. And he's got a regular job. Meanwhile, he and his wife own 5 tenements. He could retire right now. He's 38 years old. Came here with nothing from Dominican Republic. Came here with nothing. Built himself. Just saying. If I were him in this day and age, I'd move each one of those tenements into separate trusts, have them roll up into a master trust, have those roll up into an offshore company, and I would have enough cash and enough crypto so that if I had to bounce, I can. That's what I would do. Because notice how I said he came here with nothing, which means he's not from here. And if you weren't born here, you could have a problem. So yeah, I'm paying attention to who's getting crushed. I'm paying attention to where the money is flowing. Who's got access to the money? Who's got control over the regulations around that money? Just saying. Just saying. Yeah, no, we can delete that. So yeah, you start to realize that we need to understand how things are moving, how value is moving, who is collecting value and stockpiling value. Because if they're stockpiling value, that's a hint that you're behind had better start stockpiling value. The difference is that for me, I'm putting my value in places where I'd be able to touch it, whether I'm here or not. Facts. Would I go buy gold instead of BTC? Why? I'd rather buy BTC because I can go anywhere with BTC. Go someplace with gold, you're not going to be holding gold. Some other company is going to be holding your gold. Do I really want somebody holding my gold? That's like being at an exchange, a centralized exchange. No, I'm not a fan of that. Nope. Not a fan of that. Yeah, but PAX-G can go up and go down because of gold prices. I don't know that that's where I want to be. Don't know if that's where I want to be. Maybe I'll drop it into a stable coin. Would it be a US based stable coin? No. No. Who chose violence? So I pay attention to, who's got money and what are they doing to maneuver their money? Because those people are nuts. They think that if they hold all the money, that everybody has to bow down and do whatever they say that has to be done. They're not getting it. They're only a few. If you hold all of it, then we won't value any of it. See where I'm talking? See where I'm going? Feel like your gold means nothing. What does that mean? Do you know how to farm? Oh, okay. We value that. Your gold? What's that supposed to do? Just saying. Learn how to do stuff. Learn how to do something. No, Stitchy just went outside and he came back in with my daughter. He doesn't come down here. If my daughter's home, you know he's not going to be in my office. Absolutely not. He's in my office all day long until my daughter comes home. His mommy. Once his mommy comes home, that's a wrap. Absolute wrap. 100-1 ratio says 4K gold with $40 silver. I only use Pachi. Nice, cute. 4K or 5K? I don't know that I'm going to put my stuff in Patch G because it can fluctuate. I don't know about that. And with everything that's coming, I don't know that I want to have anything tied up, which is why I'm saying it might be a stable coin, not US based. Property tied into trust. Ultimate trust owner is offshore. The trick that I learned, trick that I was taught. Control, don't own. Control, don't own. Massive lesson right there. Massive lesson. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. Hope you like what I'm doing. If you do me a favor, drop some likes. We're growing big. We're at about 21,700 right now. That's 1,700 in just a week or two. Not bad. 25,000 by the end of the year. I think we'll get there. I think the new number is going to wind up being 30. I think that's the number I'm going to be shooting for, is 30. That's the big one. But I'll be back tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. for the Crypto Daily. And I would like to have a deeper discussion tomorrow night for Friday Night Flips about when the market hits its highs. Where are you going to move your value? Or even whether or not you're going to move your value. I'd like to have a deeper discussion about that. And also, drop me notes and let me know if I should do an AI show on Saturday. A few people have been coming at me and telling me I should do another AI show on Saturday. And I would probably do that AI show around risk management and security. And then what it can do for you personally and things like that. So I'd probably do a show like that. So let me know if I should do something like that, and we'll have a good conversation tomorrow night. But I will be back tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Crypto Daily. Everybody, thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And as always, thank you for your trust. Have a great night. Bye-bye.